Hey guys, still in lesson two, still on level eight. I'm still on part A. I'm going to try to take this for loop where we went through every single letter and see if we can turn this into a while loop. I think a while loop would be a little bit better because really what I did is I went through the feedback and I took the T, then the H, then the E. And when I ran into a space, when I saw that, uh-oh, there was a space here, instead of adding a letter, I added that symbol to the output, which created a new line. But essentially, as long as the feedback was not equal to the space, I just kept adding things one letter at a time to the output. And that's just not terribly efficient. It works, but it is not efficient. So I'm going to comment this out. And I'm going to go down yonder. So I still think, let's see, we still need a string that we're going to add our things to. I'll call this output again. And for right now, it's going to be the empty string. And then let's create an int um, that is going to be whatever the space is. And it's the feedback dot. This is kind of I'm initializing my while loop variable. That's exactly what I'm doing right here. So feedback index of whatever the space is. So I'm initializing my variable. As long as I go through this list, as long as there is a space, um, as long as there is a space, the space, that number will always be greater than zero because it will have an index. But if it doesn't have an index, it's not going to run this. In other words, when I get to the end of the line and there is no space, I'm kind of to the end of the string, then I'm done. So, like, what do I mean? What do you mean end of the string? When I get here, when I get to that period and I stop at the double quotes, there's nowhere else to go. So I'm going to stop there. All right, so let's go back yonder. And then let's create a string that is going to be our current word. And I'm going to set this equal to the feedback dot substring starting at 0 and going up to but not including whatever that space value is. So I've already initialized it up here in row 42 to be the index of the first space. So it's going to be the one that comes after the. And then what I'm doing is I'm setting the current word to be feedback substring from 0 to that space. So this is going to return the. And then what I want to do is I want to go output equals output plus the current word plus I need to put in the escape sequence, which is that /n, which will create a new line. And then I want feedback to be, let's see how I can make that happen. Hold on, gotta get the dog. Hold on. Sorry, I'm back. So, okay, so I remember. So now what I want to do is I want to make the feedback equal to the feedback substring that goes from the space value plus 1. And then I want the space to be equal to my new feedback index of the space. So let's do this logic using the product. So my current word is the, because I'm going from 0 to the space. The index of the space is 3. So that's, I've initialized space. Current word, feedback substring, that's the. It goes from 0 to 3, but not including 3. So it takes 0, 0, 1, and 2. The output, the output is nothing, so I've added the current word with a /n to this output statement. And then what I've done is I've taken my feedback, which was everything, but instead of that feedback, I'm going to create a feedback substring that goes from whatever the space is, one after the space. So now my substring actually starts with the word product. And then the space has a new value, which is, let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the space would then be 7. Still greater than 0, so I'm going to keep doing this while loop over and over again. Eventually, it will stop. And then I'm going to return the output. So let's give this a run and see what happens. And it worked, just like the other one worked. I think this is a little more efficient. And if I give this a test, I'm sure the test would work out okay. I think a while loop did not like that, did it? It did not like it. The other one worked, but this one's not. Text returns a string containing each word, loop through the feedback as long as a space can be found. It did not give me, so it did not give me the last letter. I don't know why it did not give me the last letter. It did work. It did give me the product. Oh, it did not return I returned it. Why is it not returning the last? It's not returning the last word. It didn't return the last word for this. The last word was customer, but it did not return the word customer. So it did not return the last one. And so I wonder, I wonder why. I wonder if we take the +1 out, what happens? That's what happens because the space is 0 because I haven't, so I have to go one more to start my string. And so then I run the, hmm, all right, I'll look at that and see what's up with it. I think what it is I did not add, it did not get to add this last feedback word to output. So I think if I do go output equals output plus feedback, I think that'll work. Oh, it's not going to work without a semicolon there. That's for darn sure. So let's see what happens now. There you go. So now it returned that last word. What was happening is it got the last word, but there was no space. So space had was not greater than 0, which means that it never went back up here and executed that output statement. So I had to add output and feedback one last time, and then I returned output. So let's see what the test is doing. And that worked much better.